mindfulness and the controller. Guess what? I wasn't able to control. I got into my video and I did it for 20 seconds and the phone rang and I went to stop it. So now I just had to stop and not panic. It's like, oh no. So I got it all stopped, looked after the phone, and then I didn't know how to delete. So if you saw a 20-second video, it's now gone. But then I had to go to all of the places, and it might still be on YouTube. But you see how easy it is to get anxious and on edge and say, oh man, what am I going to do? Well, I don't get that way as easily now. But I remember when I used to just walking on eggs and, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Oh, what's going to happen? Ever been like that? Do you remember when you used to be like that? That's when we get anxious. We're on edge. We're all tensed up. We even get short-tempered. And I remembered sometimes, what are you going to do? And what I'm just getting so angry. You know, our voices would go up when we would get, but it was less about being angry if we really stopped to think about it, and more about being frustrated and recognizing I was doing this and it didn't work. I wanted that to happen and that didn't happen. And we go wacko in so many ways. What is that challenge? We just can't be in control. You know, when we become impatient and short-tempered, just stop and breathe, because there's something that we're not in control of. And that can be scary. It can be maybe embarrassing, can be, oh, I'm not good again. We can sure beat ourselves up, these voices chattering, all the noise in our head. It was really interesting. I was talking to my group this morning, and Binta says, oh, that reminds me of, you know, when people are walking down the street and just talking out loud, and we call them crazy. She said, yeah, the psychologist or somebody said, yeah, that's just us out loud. Because when we see somebody strolling the streets and talking nonsense, all they're doing in their craziness is just saying what's coming out of their head and out of their thoughts is coming out of their mouth with no thought for it. And we control ourselves most of the time. Have you ever said something that you were sorry you said, and later on oh, I wish I could take that back? We were not in control any more than the crazies out in the street, walking and saying what the chatter was in their head, because we've got the chatter in our head. And if we're not paying attention, it's going to come right out of our mouth. That's what's happening. And that anxiety that comes, that walking on eggshells, that sick stomach feeling, that is lack of control. There's something that we can't control. And you know what? Take a big deep breath for this one. Yeah. No control. We cannot control other people. We cannot control situations. If we've planned an outdoor barbecue and it rains, we can't control that. We can only control what we're going to do with it. That's all. We're going to only control our reaction, ourselves inside. So when we go into that terrible space of emotional upheaval, it's often because we can't control ourselves, other people, or the situation. Mindfulness comes in when we just decide to be calm. Stop, think, decide. Stop, think, decide. That's what we do. So take a deep breath, get yourself calm, and think, what's the next best step? And don't beat yourself up. That's what the work is about. I'm just creating the event, and you'll see it getting posted here. But that opportunity to really stop and look at who's running the bus up in here, and how are you going to choose? How do you even know when the bus is being run? And who would you rather have driving the thought bus? Yourself or these voices in your head? How would it feel just to be able to speak up, show up, stand up with confidence and clarity, knowing that those voices in the head, that chatter that's going on, you can control your reaction and make a different choice. That's the work we do for this event that's coming up. It's all part of communication and leadership. Your communication with yourself, with others, about the situation, in the situation, how you're going to react to it, how you're going to deal with it. It's Coach Sandra, the compassionate queen of straight talk. You know you can do it, and I can help. Have a wonderful evening.